So I'm on my old chair that's actually 65 years old. My parents bought a dining room set, the china cabinet, the buffet, whatever you call those pieces. And when right the year I was born, which was the year before they got me, because they adopted me when I was 13 months old, and I will be 65 next month. No, not next February. So anyways, it has been recushioned, but that's what I'm sitting on now, but it's a nice straight back. So let's find our chair and find our anatomy upon the anatomy of the chair, right? Because all of it is a little bit different. I've put myself more towards the edge of the chair so that my back is away, and I can now focus on lengthening my spine, right? It's good to have all the movement that we talked about, but in between, let's focus on getting our spines nice and long. So when you are sitting in a chair, when you are doing whatever you're doing, if you can still focus on that lengthening of the spine in the walking, in the laying down, in the standing up, in the whatever we're doing, okay? So lengthen and maybe take your hands to your knees. I'm gonna press just gently, and that helps me also to grow in my spine a little bit more. And let the crown rise up, shoulders pull down, breath come in and out. All these prepositions, right? Up, down, in, out, around. Breathing in and around our whole torso, also out through the ribs. And remember, those ribs wrap around to our backs so that when we're breathing, we're expanding into our spine and that area as well. Good. Let's go ahead and release our hands. Get some movement. Inhale, lift. Let those fingers rise. Gaze rises too. And we arch our spine just a little bit, kind of offering into the heart space there. And then exhale, just take a little bit of a curve in your spine. We're not going to go deep into cat yet, but just a little bit, right? I feel my shoulders come down, my chin comes down. Then I'm going to lift up. I'm going to arc into my spine just a little bit, not quite like cow, but just a little bit where I feel my heart really coming forward. And then my hands come down. I pass through that straight spine, and I just take a little bit of a forward kind of crunching feeling. And let's do that 2 more times. Lift, lengthen into neutral spine. Open up just a little bit, and then take yourself back into neutral and take just a little curve. We're going to really control that. And then 1 more time, lift up, heart rises outward. With that in-breath and exhale, hands come down, and just a little bit of rounding. Okay, feel that opening in between your shoulder blades. Come back into that straight spine. One hand stays on the leg of the chair. The other hand comes up. Lift, keeping our spine long. It's going to be long, but it's going to come over and stretch to the side. Okay, so we're really going to open up the ribs, the intercostal muscles on the ribs. Press down with your feet, and then press out with your fingers, both that on the arm that's lifted up and the one that's sliding down. And then rise on up, both arms lift, lengthen, lengthen, inhale. Exhale, this hand comes down, slide it on down, take us on over, and feel that release. Something so easy to do that when we're vacationing, when we're doing whatever, you know, I know it might look a little strange to other people, but it's so simple to just get this little bit of a stretch in. Go ahead and rise up, inhale. Let's pull down into cactus arms. Pull the elbows back and the heart expands forward. And then exhale, take your forearms together. Bow down, elbows to your belly, chin to chest. shoulders pulling down and around, lift on up, inhale, exhale, take it into cactus arms, pulling back, inhale, exhale, take the forearms together, palms together, pull on in, exhale, let that head release, shoulders pull down. Inhale, arms lift up. And let's do that 2 more times, pulling down here into cactus, elbows out at our shoulders, squeeze them back, heart comes forward, we look up, lift up, nice energy, lengthen on forward here by forearms and hands together, and bring your elbows into your belly, sink your head, sink the shoulders down. They're going to want to rise on up. Bring yourself up, inhale, lengthen, exhale, take it into cactus arms. This is our last time. Open up through your heart, and then take yourself, forearms and palms together, bow on down, pulling shoulders down with you as your chin comes to chest, and we squeeze into that thyroid gland. Inhale, lifting up, arms rise, and exhale, hands come to our shoulder height. Okay, let's take one arm over all the way across our body. The other one comes and crosses at the elbow crease, and one hand comes and bends, the underarm comes and bends, and let's take our body to one side, exhale, take ourselves forward, inhale, take ourselves over to the other side, exhale, bring yourself forward, inhale, lengthen, exhale, take it on over. So we're twisting at the waist. Inhale takes us back to center. And we are opening up those shoulder blades. Take yourself back and release arms. Remember which one was underneath, okay? Because I don't think I said specifically. Rise up here, arms are palms up, pull them back just a bit. We're gonna go and do the other arm under, take it all the way across your body. The other one comes right at the elbow crease and bend that underarm. Go ahead and shift your body to one side with an exhale. Inhale, take the body forward. Exhale, take the body over to one side. Bring it on forward, inhale. One more time each side, exhale. Inhale back into long spine. Centered, and exhale it over. Bring yourself back, open up those arms, pull back, fingers open up wide, chin, it comes upward. And from here, take yourself over to the right in a little arc of the spine. Bring yourself back up, inhale. Take yourself over, exhale. Back into center, and then sit with a straight spine, arms out. Take your arms down. Bring them back up. Take them over to the other side. Yeah, that looks good. Come on up. And now let's take that little fold that we did earlier. So I'm going to kind of pull in at my navel, and my wings come forward a bit, okay? So forward, take yourself, fly to one side. Bring yourself up, inhale. Fly to the other side. Bring yourself up. One more time each side. So I like, bring yourself back up, straight spine. Exhale, hands down. I like to take like one move like we did, but then shift just a little bit so that we get a little more aware of body awareness and what happens. Sorry, I did not turn this off and need to do that. So we're aware of you know, where our body is moving through space and the different muscles that we use when we use one as opposed to the other. Let's take our hands behind us on the chair, press down or hold on. Depends on what kind of chair you have. You know, I've got this chair now that I can kind of find a good holding space there. I'm going to find my feet pressing down, my sits bones pressing down, my shoulders pulling back, my heart coming forward, and I'm going to let that happen. I'm going to really let myself release and come into this camel pose. And caution with how much you lift your chin. You want to have it so that it feels good, not so that it feels too compressed. Okay, really let those shoulders open and that heart expand. And then take yourself back to a straight spine. Slide your hands down to your knees. And now we've taken some real gentle, kind of easy little cat and cows. Let's still be gentle and easy, but let's take them a little more dynamically. So I'm going to hold on to my knees. I'm going to pull my body forward, like slithering a bit. And then I'm going to lift up, pulling shoulders down and have a really nice curve in my spine, okay? And then I'm going to come back into straight arm, straight spine, and then I'm going to slide my hands down my shins, really curl and tuck and round into myself as deep or not as you all want to go with this, okay? Then bring yourself up, connect to those knees, slide yourself forward, bring your heart up, gaze up, inhale. And then send yourself into straight spine and then exhale down, sliding those hands shin on your shins. Curl, tuck, round into yourself. Feel that all the way in that lower spine. And then continue, please. 2 more sets. And we're breathing on each time. And then bringing ourselves back up. Good. Take a couple breaths here. Find that straight spine. Find yourself seated in mountain or hero's pose. And then let's take our figure 4. So one foot stays on the ground, the other crosses at the ankle, the shin, or take it on up if your knees and hip allow, to your ankle close to your knee. And then sit up straight and tall. If we curve here, I want you to notice this, go ahead and curve, hold on to your knee, curve in. You're not going to feel that so much in your hip. Now take your whole body weight and let it rest on your hips. And you're going to feel that a little bit more there in the outside of your hip. You're going to feel a little more if I go ahead and flex into my foot as well. And I'm going to take the hand of the knee that's on top, and I'm going to rest my hand there. The other hand, I'm going to take it and start to slide it down my shin. And I might not go very far. All right, so wherever I find myself, once I find the depth, then I'm going to go ahead and just find a little bit of a twist. But I have to have a long spine. So if your spine's not long, don't twist. Otherwise, lengthen that spine and then let yourself twist a bit and see if you feel that a little bit more in that hip. And you're feeling it also in your waistline. Good. And then take yourself back, slide that hand back up. Be nice and straight and tall. Hold on to shin and let's row a little bit. Pull forward. Inhale. Exhale as you curve your spine and the arms go long, and then pull in with bent elbows. Inhale. Exhale, long arms into that curved spine. 2 more times. Good. All right. So we're kind of doing this little wave with our spine when we're going back and forth like that. Let's go ahead and let that foot come down. And before we finish with that side, let's lift that foot up. But this time we're not going into this external rotation. We're just staying with that leg lifted. Your hand might come underneath to support there a bit. And let's just take some circles with your ankle, round and round a few times, and go around in the opposite way. So this month, you guys, and go ahead and just let that leg go. Let's see, I think it is the second Wednesday, maybe the third Wednesday of the month that's on the calendar. We're going to be doing an in-person, I'm not sure we're going to Zoom it, little chart your course holiday thing that we're putting on. Some of you might have attended virtually last year, or maybe you came the year before in person. Squeeze and bring that up, but just kind of keep that in mind. There's a lot going on this month, so you may or may not be able to attend, but we'd love for you to. And then place that foot down. Let's go ahead and reverse. Bring up the other foot, leg, to wherever feels like it's working for you, okay? And once you do, flex into the foot and find your straight spine right on top of your hips. And then just go ahead and release like you have really bad posture right now. Release into a curved spine and just feel the difference on where that weight is. Right, now bring it forward, sit, press down into those sits bones, press into your foot, and you're going to feel more engagement into this outer hip here. So we'll sit up straight, hand on the upper knee is going to slide there. The other one slides down, and maybe I'm just here. Okay, I don't have to go very far to get into a twist. I can twist up here as well. But if you'd like to, you can take that extension with the hand coming down onto your shin. You may feel that a little more. I do in my hip. Make sure your spine is long. How can I help with that? Press into my hands where they're at. Press into my foot. Let my crown grow forward. Then I come into a bit of a twist. Only if that feels right for you. Otherwise, please take it at a higher point in the twist instead of low like this. And then I'm going to release back with a long spine first, slide on back up, hold onto my shin and go for some rowing. Pull, all right, pulling. I'm using some bicep strength. Pull, let my body weight come forward, and then take myself back. So like Cheryl was saying, you're lifting weights, right? Whenever we walk, we're lifting the weight of our body and we're moving it in space. Whenever we hold on to something and pull, we are moving weight, right? Let's do one more time. But yeah, lifting our own body weight. And that's what walking and all of that is about. And so Josephine, keep on walking, all right? Keep walking, keep resisting that, that wheelchair. But I'm gonna tell you something, Josephine, you have to make yourself do it, okay? Because you're not flying somewhere every day, okay? So take your hands underneath your thigh and go ahead and let's kick first and just release. Gotta make yourself, right? I mean, so many things that hard to do, and the more we resist gravity and then go ahead and take some circles, the more we're going to be able to move and enjoy that movement, right? That freedom that we have, that we're able to move unencumbered. Go ahead and take your ankle in the opposite direction. Good. Pull up maybe. And as I pull up, I'm using my muscles, right? Because this leg, it weighs something, right? I've got to lift it up. I'm going to let it come down and go ahead and take and separate here. And I'm going to make sure I'm nicely firmly on my chair. Let's get into our opening of our hips a little bit in our goddess lower part of our body. So toes out, heels in, and I'm going to, if you have blocks, I'm going to put those around as well, because we'd be reaching down, but you don't have to have those blocks, and you can have them at any level too, okay? So here again, we're going to work on pressing weight into our feet, bringing that energy up through our legs, taking it into our hips, sending it all the way up so I can have that straight spine, okay? I take my hands on my shoulders, and I'm just going to pull my elbows together and then expand them out. Exhale, inhale, and exhale. 3 more times. And keep pressing into the ground. If you do, you're feeling that. You're strengthening your legs. Okay, so let's say you don't feel like going walking. All right, Josephine, or anybody else out there? So just take yourself and press your feet against the earth. All right, and that's isometric engagement and that strengthening. All right, and then from here, go ahead and take elbow to knee, or maybe you don't reach there, it doesn't matter. That's your intention, okay? Then inhale up. Exhale, other elbow towards the thigh or knee, lift up on an inhale. Keep going with your breath pace, okay? And this is really smooth. So we follow our breath. And our breaths are not jerky, right? So our movements don't need to be either. You may even feel like, oh man, my elbow's bypassing my thigh and my knee now because I'm opening up my body more here, okay? And it's not forced. We're doing it with breath. We're doing it with engagement of our feet into the earth. We're doing it mindfully so that we don't have any injuries, okay? Let's do one more time, each side, lifting. Exhale to one side, bring it up. Take it on over and bring it on up. Exhale, hands come down to the side, and you may feel that a bit in your arms, at least I do. And when I say that, go ahead and let's take some wrist circles. When I say, well, at least I do, I'm telling the truth, you guys, okay? I'm not just saying that, like, oh, let me say that. No, I'm feeling it, and maybe you are, or maybe you're not. But it's good to, since we're not in the same place, and go ahead and take your hands in the opposite direction. We're not in the same place, and we mute the out there. Then we don't really know what's going on. So I just want to share. And now I'm going to do this because it feels good. I'm lifting up with my wrist, and then coming back down with fingers up, okay? And I'm coming back and forth on my sits bones. So I don't know if you can tell that my torso's moving, but doing this, I am not only elongating the side of my body, but I'm working my obliques. Yeah, you don't have to do some kind of crazy abdominal work to work your obliques. You can actually maybe have fun, doing something crazy with your hands and just taking your body left and right. Ooh, good. Take your hands on down. How about you? But I'm heating up. So let's take one arm up. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, come on down to the block. Or you can come here to forearm on your thigh. All right. Remember, those blocks have different heights. I'm going to take mine to the highest height. And fingers lifting straight up. Open them up. Feel that energy there. And then come on up. Inhale. And let's take it on down to the other side. And fingers straight up. Right now we'll come into more of an extended side angle here in a bit. But right now, let's let those fingers lift straight up to the ceiling. and really open up those wings through your chest area. And then take yourself on up. Inhale. And let's exhale on over. Lengthen, press down with your feet. Press down. Feel that in your glutes if you're pressing. Feel that in your legs. And then let's take this arm over, if that feels right. Bicep by your ear, but you can also bend your elbow. Take it in a different place that feels better for you if this doesn't. Really reach, 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 reach. See if you can grow a little bit longer on that side. And take yourself up. And take yourself down again. Fingers lift first to have a nice open chest, really lengthening there. And then if you like, take it over. Press through your feet. Press through those fingers, really lengthening there. Yeah, put smiles on our faces because this feels so good. We're really getting into all those lymph nodes that are right at our armpit area. Go ahead, rise on up, inhale. Let's try not to drop those arms. Let's take some circles here. Let's take big ones to begin with. As we catch our breath, maybe you don't need to catch your breath, but you know, I didn't do as much. We did a lot of walking and some hiking, and let's reverse. But I didn't get as much of my yoga in when you travel as I would have liked, or that I normally do. So I'm feeling this more today, and that's good. And exhale, take those hands down. Woo. Take your hands to the inside of your thighs and knees. I'm going to press out with my hands, in with my knees, okay? But I don't want anything to move. This is isometric again. Really good strengthening for your legs, okay? And look, we don't even have to walk to do it. Press out with hands, in with legs. Go ahead. Have your spine nice and long, straight and tall. Press, press, press. We're working into strengthening our arms, our chest, our back, our bellies, our legs, our hips, our glutes. Press a little bit more. Pull in, press out, and exhale, release. Let those legs fall in. Maybe your blocks fall in. Come to the inside of your feet. Take a couple breaths. Let's slide our hands to our knees and then chin to chest. And let's just have a relaxed forward motion spine. Knees are caving in. Back is caving in. Chin is caving in. Shoulders are caving in. Let everything go right now. And then I lift myself up to straight spine. I'm going to go ahead and take my feet back to the ground. And now I'm taking my hands to the outside here. And I'm going to push away as I pull in with my hands. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. Begin when you're ready. Taking this into, so when we're doing this, we're working the adductors and the abductors, okay? So both are very strengthening for our legs. You can push in and resist as much as you want to. If you're feeling it in your arms, you're really, really doing it. If you're pressing feet into the ground, you're gonna feel this in your hips, legs, belly, chest. Press a little more. And exhale. Release. Release those knees in. Release your chin to chest. Come into a rounded spine. And slowly breathe yourself back up into life, into feet flat. And let's take one leg and take it long. All right, so it's going to be extended and long. The other one's still going to be bent. okay? And I'm gonna have my blocks available if that feels good. I wanna get some lengthening going on in my legs, all right? So that's what we're gonna do now. I'm gonna slide my hand down the long leg. And if wherever you land, if it's on your knee, then move it under or above your knee, because I don't want any pressure on that knee, okay? So right now I'm underneath my knee, and I'm just gonna slide down. And I'm gonna see what my body does and releases too. And I'll just breathe into that. And I'm gonna breathe myself up. I'm gonna take this hand and slide it down my leg, maybe to my block, okay? Find a block and find the height. This hand, I'm gonna take it and slide it up. Let it tickle my armpit and then come overhead. Another nice, really good opening for the side body and that leg as well. And taking that hand, bend it to the elbow, slide it on back down and release myself upward. And then from here, still with that extended leg, I'm gonna have my blocks and I'm going to let myself walk forward. If you don't have blocks, then you're walking fingertips on the ground, okay? And just lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Let your ears and biceps maybe meet one another. Lengthen that spine. Feel what you're feeling in your legs. Feel what you're feeling maybe in your hips, your glutes, your spine. And then walk on back, slowly taking blocks back. And rise on with your spine straight and perpendicular to the ground. Bend in the extended leg. Extend the bent leg. And again, if you use blocks, have those available as well. Sitting up straight and tall. Let's go ahead and just let ourselves slide on down that extended leg wherever our body wants and needs to go. Wherever gravity will let that side of our body open up to. Take this hand, other hand, slide it up. And take it to the armpit and take it over. And take it on down, slide it down your leg and slide on up. And then find yourself coming down the shin, maybe onto block. Slide the other hand up, tickling and bringing yourself back up and over bicep by your ear if that feels right and good for you. And take that hand on down, slide it on down, bring yourself up and take those blocks in front of you so that you feel really stable here with a nice long spine. And just staying right here is fine, or you can walk those blocks forward, stretching into your spine, getting everything nice and long, your cervical spine in alignment with the rest of your spine. And then walking ourselves back again. And bend into that extended leg. Good. And now we're going to go ahead and work into goddess. And you can stay seated in your goddess or you can stand up, okay? So arms lift, inhale. Exhale, we'll do a few seated first, pull down, okay? Elbows at about shoulder height, fingers open, right? Inhale, lift. Exhale, pull it on down. Stay where you are, or if you want, on the inhale, you can take to your feet and out of the seat. Exhale, you can take it back down into the seat. Inhale, we lift it on up. Lengthening, press feet into the ground, whether you're standing up or you're seated, okay? Take those breaths. This is really good for strengthening our legs. And finding breath and movement flowing with one another. Let's do 2 more here. Inhale. And exhale. Good. From here, go ahead, lift your arms up. Inhale. Exhale, take your right under your left. Come into eagle arms. From here, we're going to stay seated the first couple times. And then I'm going to offer anybody that wants to come out of their seat there, they can. Lift elbows up, look up, inhale. Exhale, curl and tuck, elbows to your navel, shoulders pulling away from your ears like we did earlier today. Inhale, up. Exhale, kind of curling into your spine just a bit. From here, you can go ahead, stay and keep doing that, or you can lift onto your feet, lengthen, let your arms rise up, and then exhale, come back into that chair and curl, tuck yourself back in. A few more with your breath, okay? Either taking it to a stand or staying seated. And if you're coming up and down, then please make sure you're coming back onto your seat. 2 more, please. Good. And then raising our arms, releasing them. Let's just fly a bit here. Touch your wrists and then flip and bring your fingers upward and the wrists follow down and wrists lift up. Inhale and flip and exhale, and maybe your head follows. So as Cheryl again was talking about getting in and out of that Jeep, right? Getting in and out of a car, any car, getting up and down from a chair is exercise, right? So if you don't want to go walking, you can just get yourself up and down out of that chair a few more times in a day, okay? And rise on up. This time left under right. And find your eagle arms. And if they're not here, they're here, right? So you find what feels right for you. Let's do 2, all of us seated. Rising up and then exhaling, coming into a little curved spine, pulling the shoulders down and chin to chest. Inhale up. Exhale. Rising up. Coming down. If you want, take it on to your feet, only if you feel stable and able. Taking it back. If you don't even want to come back into your seat all the way, you can just come into a regular squat. But that chair is there, and you are working those legs by coming in and out of that chair. One more time, inhale. And you're working those legs. If you're just pressing your weight in, feet into the earth, rise up with your arms. Exhale, release, arms lift up. Exhale, let's let them come on down. Let's walk our feet in. Let's sit in mountain for a few breaths. Mountain pose here. fingers down, or hero's pose, hands on thighs. Two more full, slow, deep, intentional breaths. Good. All right. Let's go ahead and everybody stand up out of your chair. Little by little, let's stand up. Okay. Yeah. And then know where that chair is. Okay. And I'm going to just have myself towards the chair to make sure that I know where it's at. We're going to come in and out of chair pose. Okay. So my arms are going to lift up high. And I'm going to sit down into that chair. Go ahead, sit on down. Good. Yeah, that was a graceful sitting down there. Let's lean our bodies forward, press into our feet. Come on up, inhale. 3's a charm. You can do it. You use your hands, Josephine. Use your hands, push yourself up. There you go. There, yay! All right, everybody's up. All right, exhale. Don't go all the way into your chair now. Just take your hands forward like you're sleepwalking. But your butt wants to come back in that chair, but we're not going to let it. Rise on up, inhale. Because it's too hard sometimes to get out of that chair. Exhale, take your hands forward, sleepwalk a bit here. Inhale, lift. 2 more times, you guys. You can do it. Exhale. Rise it on up. So we're going from this upward salute into chair pose. Exhale down. Utkatasana, chair pose. Rise up, inhale. You guys got it. Exhale, hands come down. Stand in mountain now. Okay. Standing and taking our weight of our body onto our 2 feet instead of our feet of our spine, our sits bones, and our feet. Right now, they're just on our feet. Bend a little bit into your knees and just kind of pulse. Pulse a little bit into your knees. So we're not pulsing so much that we're hyperextending any knees at all. We're just a little bit of pulse. And let's start to move those hands with the pulsing. Okay. Kind of like, here I am, right? Good. And then lengthen those legs. Take your arms up. Let's come into our half moon pose. Arms are lifted. Take a hold of one wrist. Press away and come on over. Finding that we have, when we're not seated in the chair, this half moon can go down a little bit deeper into our legs, right? Passing our hips. Lift yourself up, press away, lengthen, and come on over to that other side. Pressing feet solidly into the earth. Lift. Exhale, bend into your knees just a little bit. Let those arms come down. And then rise up with long legs. Inhale. Hold on to the opposite wrist. Press away. Exhale, take yourself over. Ardha Uttanasana. Right? No, this is Ardha Chandrasana. Yeah, Ardha Uttanasana is a half lift. This is half moon. Reach on up, inhale. I have to keep practicing every now and then. And come on over to the other side. A little bit of Sanskrit that I did learn along the way. Bring yourself up, inhale. And exhale, bend into those knees as I release my arms and I slowly take them to the side of my thighs. Then I'm going to take them behind me. Okay, I'm going to interlace here. My knees are still slightly bent. And interlace, pressing down, shoulders squeeze together, okay? Or you can take your hands here if that's a little bit much. And then just look up. Good. Releasing hands, bend a little bit more, and then come on up. Inhale. Exhale into your cactus arms. Open up your heart. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hands come down. Let's open up our legs just a little bit. We'll come back into the chair in a moment. And from here, just do your empty coat sleeves here. Yeah, it's harder to do this in the chair because we have that back of the chair. It kind of gets in our way of the freedom of our arms. So let yourself just be free with your arms, maybe tapping your lower spine by the kidney area there. Good. And let's shake it out. Let's take our toes out and our heels in. Find the distance that feels comfortable for you. Come into a bit of a bend in the knees and rise your arms up. And exhale. Now, when I exhale, I'm going to straighten my legs and let my arms come forward. Okay. And then when I inhale, I'm going to bend my legs, let my arms come up. And exhale. It's a little different than the rhythm that we use. Inhale. When we do our goddess practice, it's kind of doing the opposite with one as we do the opposite with the other. Let's do two more. And again, just switching things up so that we can have awareness of our body and how it moves through space. And real important to let it keep moving through space. Good. And then let's go ahead and just take some shoulder rolls here. Okay. So I'm rolling into my shoulder and I'm kind of rolling into my chest and maybe rolling in, flowing my body a little bit left to right. And let's take those shoulders in the opposite way. Yeah. That looks good. Feels good. All right, good. And let's go ahead. If you're not in a chair yet, come on back into your chair and let's take our backs to the back of the chair, okay? So really scoot yourself in. And again, it's really interesting because the anatomy of the chair does make a difference. Those other chairs were not as deep as this one. So I really have to push myself back. And when I do, my feet get off the earth. So you can either take blocks underneath your feet, like Denise has been doing, or you can take your heels up to the legs of your chair there, just so we're supported somewhere, okay? But feel your back against that chair. And let your kind of shoulders or your chest, I guess it's my chest, it's kind of moving left and right here as I cozy up to the back of that chair. And then find your navel and maybe even press into your navel. And then let that navel come towards the back of the chair too. So instead of kind of rounding into that lower spine, let's let ourselves kind of flatten into it, okay? That takes a little more control here in our core for that. And then go ahead and release back into a natural, normal state there. And then from here, let's go ahead and take and lift up one foot and hold again like we did earlier. But this time, instead of just doing loops with our ankle, let's do that with our whole lower leg. All right, so we're moving into the knee joint a little bit and into our hip joint too. And we're just feeling this kind of freedom of movement in our leg. And then I'm going to go around in the opposite way. Knee hip, feeling released. My arms are doing some work because they're keeping that leg up. You can try to do it without your arms, but that's adds a lot to the process. And then let's let that leg come down. And let's lift the other one up. Let it be loose. And let's go ahead and let that whole lower leg and into the knee and into our hip socket, right? Kind of finding its circular motion there. And reverse. Good. And let's go ahead and lower both of those feet on down. And then from here, find your spine up against the back of the chair. Take your hands behind you on the back of your chair and really now let yourself open up into camel from here. So we'll squeeze the shoulders together. We'll lift our chin. We'll let our heart really expand outward. And then I'm going to take my spine back to the chair, my hands on my legs, and I'm going to keep my hips way back on the chair, but I'm going to take my spine off of the seat of the chair, okay? So I'm still way back in the chair. And I'm going to just do some cat and cow here, bringing my heart forward, inhale. Exhale, take myself down, curl, tuck, round. Feel the base of your spine rounding into maybe the base of your seat of your chair, depending again what your chair feels like. Look up, inhale, and exhale, curl and tuck and round. 2 more here. And down. Good. Sitting up straight, arms rise up. Inhale here. Keeping arms kind of parallel to one another and right biceps by your ears. Let's just shift over to one side with an exhale. Shift on up, inhale. Come on over, exhale. And just feel like we're floating in the wind a bit, like a reed in the wind, okay? But we're in control of how deep we go. Our core strength is helping us here. Let's do one more set. Bring it on up, inhale. And exhale, one hand to the opposite shoulder, the other hand to my elbow point. Feel that right there. And take myself over, exhale. Leaning myself back up, inhale. And taking myself back over to the other side, exhale. Inhale up. One more time each side, exhale over. Bring yourself up. Take yourself over. Rise up. Exhale, arms come down. They rise up. Opposite hand to opposite shoulder and go ahead and take it on over. I had to recheck which was mine. Maybe you guys did too. Inhale, lift. Take it over. Rise it up. Exhale over. Bring it up. One more time to this side. Bring yourself up. Releasing arms. Stretch, 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 stretch. Take the fingers down long in the neck. Comes chin to chest. And then lifting my head. Putting my hands on my thighs. Sitting straight and tall in my spine. Being really aware of where my body is right now, where it's been in the last hour, where you're going to take it to, and how you're going to take that body, all right? When, where, how, and just being aware of the little subtleties, those little details in the way we move our bodies. So thank you all for being here today, taking my hands to my heart here or here, just to again express my gratitude for this giving that we do for one another when we show up and we share with each other, and sharing in words, sharing in movements, sharing in looks, right? And voice. So thank you all for being here, and from my heart to yours, namaste.